Good morning, good night. Once again, pranic feeding seen with another point of view, with an alternative approach. I propose you to think, maybe to get aware of what can be, according to my own experiment, the pranic feeding. I mean, moving from solid to energetic food, moving from what is produced by the earth, fruits and vegetables, cereals, nuts, oilseeds, to food produced by the sun, the sky, the universe, maybe all suns from all galaxies. That is to say, prana, scientifically called since 1973 by the German physicist Professor Fritz Albert Popp biophotons or light particles. Actually, moving from solid food from the earth to pranic food from the sky means to me doing a withdrawal. Therefore, this means moving from the food of the Mother Earth to the one given by the Father in the highest. That is to say, a withdrawal, a true umbilical cord to be cut. The umbilical cord to cut with all our habits, veiling our true freedom, a more real perception, more realistic, objective, of all informations given by our five senses: seeing, hearing, touching, smelling, tasting. Moving from feeding of Mother Earth to the food from the Father in the highest, an extensive and passionate program, isn't it? To cut the umbilical cord. There is Michelangelo, who I think in 1512, after 4 years working, and did one of the 9 paintings inspired by the world creation as said in Genesis book, which is Adam's creation. In this painting, which is in the Sixtine Chapel, Vatican, we see God instilling to the very first man on earth, Adam, instilling life breathing, that is to say, prana. Prana that we find in the biblical writings as the manna that would have allowed the Jews not starving as they were following Moses in the desert. The manna of God, also called Amrita, that we find in Vedic writings in India, pneuma, life breathing in ancient Greece, or the ambrosia, nectar of gods. So cut the umbilical cord of too many attachments, too many beliefs, too many prejudices. Cut the umbilical cord of too much mentalization. One more time, pranic feeding means also focusing more on present time, which is allowed only by the right brain, when the left one, in its Cartesian function, keeps us in the past or in the future. And when we are focusing on present time, this is not so much to be and live in the present, therefore to think. This doesn't mean that we live in the present. Living the present is feeling it entirely. Feeling it means being connected to the body via the right brain, which allows to be in this global presence, head, body. So cut the umbilical cord of too much mentalization. Cut the umbilical cord with too many disturbing emotions. Emotion comes from the Latin word ex movere, that means out of. To be, to go out of. That is to say that emotion, when not controlled, eccentres us, takes us out of our center, and so contributes to break alignment, centering with ourselves. Alignment, unity, verticality. The left brain intends to put us on the horizontal axis of life through passing time, between past and future, when the right brain intends to put us in present time in our verticality, as long as we stay in harmony. Harmony of a global perception with ourselves, which allows us to perceive the present moment and space, also to rely with space that will feed us actually. But to do this, cut the umbilical cord. And that is the problem, because that means facing the unknown and security fears by leaving something referring to known to security. And before to get something which is so far unknown, a new condition of being, I am facing myself in this unknown and in this vacuum which feeds life. Life and emptiness that we confuse with nothingness, source of anguish, anxiety, and so fear of death. Stopping eating is stopping life that can no longer perform the vital functions in our body. Stopping eating solid food. In itself, that means maintaining as many thoughts, limiting positions, than clinging, remaining fixed to the things we know. After all, the unknown holds much potential, possible other conditions to be, other satisfactions, both physical and conscious, emotional, affective, which are as many openings to spirituality. After all, I have this deep feeling that we are not human beings trying to live a spiritual experience, for most of all are looking for it. Spirituality means to me being happy, healthy, conscious, free and happy. But we are actually spiritual beings trying to live a human experience. But what means being human? Being human means being connected, being fully connected to its humanity. That is to say, to its heart, and to be connected to our own heart, a bit less to the mental ego, who's always right. How may do not like to be pushed to doubt, to be said what they have to do, dislike changing their habits. The mental ego likes comfort and reassuring patterns. Yet we all know that to confront the unknown beyond the comfort zone that we all have, each at our own level, may be more or less anxiety-provoking, scary and disturbing, but for once can also back the comfort zone in order to get a bigger comfort zone. That's interesting. It may be worth to be done and to say to ourselves, why not? Let's go and see what is behind this comfort zone. To confront or consolidate. I think we need both, consolidate and from time to time to confront. So, referring to all this, please remember, never believe what I tell you in all these videos that I am making while following my own inspiration. People who come to me inspire me, whom I accompany in the Pranic process, monthly inspire me. My life experience, my meetings, my readings, my insights inspire me too, my nights and so on. As this beautiful landscape, the ocean, Atlantic West Coast in France inspires me for sure. But referring to withdrawal and pranic feeling, in August 2013, I was doing a pranic process for 13 days. On the 8th day, in the morning, while I was doing a meditation, I've done what is called a death anguish. Apparently, it doesn't seem to happen to every people doing a pranic transition. Anyhow, it was quite peculiar. For me, time stopped. There was nothing left. I felt a huge emptiness. All stopped inside of me. I don't know how to explain. It's beyond the mind and intellect. That was not comforting. Quite the contrary. It's been rather scaring. But letting me go through this experience, through this connection, this memory that had expressed, to let me cross by without opposing any resistance, as avoidance, rationalization, repression. After 3 or 5 seconds, it was over. Later, still while meditating, I've had what is called an insight, a flash of consciousness, awareness, as if a light bulb had gone up in my head, which made me live again a fetal state in a womb. That I suppose my mom's one, where I saw me in a fetal position, such as an ear fed by the umbilical cord, and to my biggest surprise to see this cord, to feel fed by my mom's blood, but also coming from everywhere, very bright particles that are called prana. These particles were penetrating me Through my skin, the amniotic liquid, my mom's womb, her whole body, I was receiving this pranic food that she received unwittingly. Hence this understanding, which once more is only mine, that we are all pranic and that all babies in the world, when they are born, at the very moment of their birth, they are pranic. Because we are fundamentally fed by prana in our mother's womb, even if we are also nourished by the umbilical cord and mother's blood that gives nutrients, oxygen, and so on. That was really amazing to see all these particles, all these lights which were bombing me, which penetrated me from everywhere, by all pores of my skin, and that I felt actually nourishing me. Should we make a link? I think so. Make a link with what has been described by Stanislas Grof, a Czech naturalized American psychiatrist in the 60s, who is considered as the principal founder of transpersonal psychology in 1969. Co-founder with Abraham Maslow, creator of the Pyramid of Needs, Carl Gustav Jung. Abraham Maslow, founder of the humanist psychology before the transpersonal psychology. The psychiatrist presented the 9 months lived into the womb through 4 steps or perifetal matrices.